Dr. Josh Halper, Hillview Veterinary Clinic in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. And once again, Tess is here to help us with the segment today is your dog and their toenails. I wanted to take a few minutes and just talk to you about the general toenails and about trimming the toenails. And later on, I'll discuss a little diagram of actually if you want to trim these toenails at home, where to actually cut back. Just a little heads up. In the dog, there's 4 main toenails and something we call the dew claw. And it's okay, sometimes you'll have a pet and they don't have a dew claw, or as a puppy they've been removed. So it's okay if your dog and or a cat does not have dew claws, but usually there's 5 in the front. And just to show you, Tessa's nails are good. They're in good shape. I just trimmed them yesterday. But you can see they're worn down. There's no hook part to them. It's hard for me to give you a dimension because every dog is different. But I'll go over the diagram. You'll know exactly where and how much to take off if you want to trim these at home. So, and once again, I want to make sure that there's no inflammation in and around the base, meaning that where the toenail meets the skin. Sometimes they'll get inflammation at the nail bed. And dogs very commonly will get something called infection, or something we call in veterinary medicine pododermatitis, meaning that inflammation and or infection between the toes. And this can be caused by infection, allergies, or actually some dogs will actually develop a little cyst back here. So here's a little diagram of the cat and or dog's toenails here. You have to forgive me, I'm not an artist here. So, but here is something, the side view of the toenail, and this is something called the quick, or essentially we call the blood supply to the toenail, and it looks pink in some dogs and darker in others, and it looks red. So, and this is the portion of the toenail right here that we need to focus on. Whenever you're trimming a dog's toenails or a cat's toenails, you always want to think about only taking half of the toenail, and this dotted line is our cut line. Okay, so whenever you're trimming toenails, sometimes the dog's toenails or the cat's toenails is black. You got to be careful where you're cutting. But this dotted line represents our cut line. Because if you come back here, there's a little nerve that comes out. People think, oh, I need to trim it all the way back. And if you cut further back, you can actually hit that nerve. The dog's going to run, scream, and not be happy, but essentially not bad. Actually, if you come back further, you cut too far back, that's when the toenail bleeds immediately. And sometimes it's very difficult to get stopped. So some home remedies is to take a little cornstarch, mix it with water, form a paste, and just impact it into the bleeding portion with a paper towel and hold it off for 5 minutes. Sometimes you have to call your veterinarian to get it to stop. It all depends on how far you come back. If you cut back way back here, you could get in big trouble. And this diagram is essentially for educational purpose only. So once again, if you want to think about the toenail and our quick, which is here, your cut line should be 50% of the white portion of the toenail, or halfway. Stay away from coming back here, and if you trim the little tip off, that's great, but it's never going to be enough. You want to think about where the quick is, about halfway. If you ever have questions, always take a little less off. You're better off taking here, okay, rather than here. Once again, Dr. Josh Halper, Hillview Veterinary Clinic. I hope you love my diagrams. I've worked really hard on these. So, at Hillview Veterinary Clinic in Reynoldsburg, Ohio.